Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I am making an affirmation card for my art journal. I'm just placing some Distress Oxide ink in Victorian Velvet and Tattered Rose on my mat and adding water. And I'm bringing in my ink smoosher and some Canson XL watercolor paper, and starting with my Victorian Velvet, I am adding that over my panel, leaving some white space, and then I'm going to dry this in between and then go ahead and add my Tattered Rose. You can leave as much white space as you want. I will also link to the video where I made this ink smoosher and got the idea from Natalie over at NB Cards. So after getting all of my Tattered Rose on my panel, I am heat drying that. Next, I'm going to bring in my crushed olive and add some green to my panel. Look at all the texture this is creating. So I'm going to dry this layer with my heat tool. Here I'm coming in with some archival ink in plum and faded type text stamp. And going to stamp that in the top right corner, and then ink up the other side and give my panel a stamp with the other side. Love this. Then I'm going to bring in the numbers stamp from that same faded type collection. Add some of that to my panel. And bringing in another stamp and adding some smaller text to my panel. Next, I'm going to bring in that same plum ink and go around the edges of my design. Let's talk in the comments. Let me know when you see the finished products, which of these cards you like best, or which color combinations you like best. I'm bringing in an old Heavy Doodle stencil from my stash and some Ranger Tim Holtz Distress texture paste, and we'll apply this to a few areas on my panel. This grit paste dries very quickly. So I'm going to set this aside and go ahead and pull out my other elements, or the other elements I'm going to use in this on this affirmation card. I've already stamped and heat embossed my sentiment, and then I'm bringing in some elements from an old Simon Says stamp kit. These are Tim Holtz elements. And here I'm inking up the edges of my sentiment with that same plum ink. And we'll do the same for the other elements that I'm using on this card, just to ink up all the edges. I love those hints of yellow-green that I get from crushed olive. So I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue to affix the elements on my affirmation card. An important note when using any type of texture paste, as soon as you remove your stencil, you want to submerge that in some hot soapy water so that that paste doesn't stick on your stencil. So I did that off camera. I'm adding some glue dots to the back of my bird. It adds some dimension, but it's almost flat. But that those glue dots help this all to stick very well, this bird. I did add some liquid glue on the back as well. I made this card off camera, but wanted to show it to you. It has the same theme, but mostly yellows and then brown accents. I love the way both turned out. And here's the card I made in today's video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video. And if not a subscriber, will subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Until next time, good day, friends.